Let's move on to tonight's main stories. Now, the World Bank says it is committed to supporting Ghana in dealing with its infrastructure challenges. The country currently requires more than 10 billion cedis to solve the infrastructure gap. Currently, both parties are in talks on ways to solve the problem.
Although Ghana appears to have improved on its road infrastructure over the years, it is projected that the country requires about 10 billion cedis to deal with the infrastructure gap. Despite efforts to move away from financial aid, the World Bank says it is ready to offer the necessary assistance to help reduce the country's infrastructure gap. The World Bank's country director is Henry Kirali.
Ghana loses 2,000 people every year on our roads. So this is an important issue that needs to be addressed by everybody. And the World Bank is supporting programs. In Ghana, we have road safety programs, we have road infrastructure programs, and we have other types of programs that are all designed to reduce the number of injuries and fatalities on the roads. Traffic lights, poor driver behavior, poor conditions of roads, poor conditions of vehicles, all of these contribute to poor road safety. So it is not just traffic lights, it goes way beyond that to include several other factors. And it needs the commitment of the professionals, it needs better behavior on roads, it also needs the commitment at political level, at administrative level, and financially to try to come together to solve this problem.
Speaking to Joy Business at the regional workshop on road safety and urban mobility in Accra, Minister for Transport Kweku Ofori-Esiama believes that efforts being put in place by the government to deal with road challenges will yield the necessary results.
Within the African concept, Ghana, we are doing quite well, but it is not acceptable. Even if one person dies, which we can prevent, it is not acceptable. So the point is that until we get zero tolerance of road accidents, whether the 2 deaths a day or 3 deaths a day, it's not something that you should be proud of it. But we are coming from somewhere. That is why people are saying that we are coming from somewhere. We started from maybe 8, now we are 6. I'm sure per the 2016 figures, 6 people were being killed every day. 2018 is not something that you should be proud of. So I think that there's more for it to do. Though people are commending us that the effort and the commitment from the president himself is a clear indication that we want to do something about road safety. But I think unless and until that we get to the point that nobody dies out of negligence or indiscipline on our road, it's not something that we are going to rely on our roads.
The workshop is intended to encourage open discussions on road safety and urban mobility, particularly in areas where impact can be minimized for better results.
Now, 50% of knowledge gained by youngsters must include an in-depth exposure to happenings in the global financial space. This is according to the CEO of Combat Impressions, Albert Okran. Speaking to Joy Business at the ongoing Teampreneurship Conference in Accra, Mr. Okran called on government to prioritize skills development in the country. There's more in this report.
The conference saw young and prospective entrepreneurs converge at the Kofi Annan ICT Center to acquire some extra skills in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Albert Okran is the convener of the conference and chief executive officer of Combat Impressions. He spoke to Joy Business.
So the idea behind this conference is to provide that extra 50% that is not taught within the formal educational setup. And in this particular conference, our focus is largely on technology, areas like robotics, app development, animation, filmmaking, themes and areas that normally they wouldn't find in a formal lecture room. Finding your talent and your skill and developing them. These must be themes that must be introduced at the primary level, not in the same way they will be taught at the university and secondary level, but in a practical way, almost like fun that the children can engage. And because they've been exposed so early, they will end up achieving far more than we have done, because these are themes that we found out much later after university, but they can engage with them earlier and do big things for the country and for the continent.
Meanwhile, some participants engaged Joy Business on the appreciation of the conference and how it has shaped their career patterns.
It's very good. It makes you, it tells you to plan your future well, to make sure your future is good, take step by step, and to put businesses together.
Wow.
So that's why we are here today, to learn about businesses and how to like grow up our future?
I think it's very educative and very good for youngsters who want to develop their minds, set their minds on their careers and the rest. So I think it's very educative.
I really want to make a difference because in the Ghanaian world we say cartoons and animations are the same, but they are not the same.
They are not the same?
Yes.
What's the difference?
Cartoons is normally made for children, just for fun. Animations like Attack on Titans, which is my favorite. Sometimes they convert it to movies. It's with that you can actually edit some of the movies in Ghana.
It's very amazing the kind of thoughts they have in mind, the kind of dreams they have to share, and the kind of projects that they wish to embark on in the nearest future. It's all about entrepreneurship. It's all about the need for them to attach technology to their skills and the verve to achieve what they ought to achieve. We've heard from Albert Okran on this, and we get to speak to them in the future. For Joy Business, I'm Charles IATA reporting.
Well, turning to one of our top stories tonight, shareholders of defunct Unibank have criticized KPMG for allegedly engaging in a conflict of interest arrangement with the banking regulator, that is the Bank of Ghana. They issued a statement earlier today. I want to read bits of it for you. It says that quote, the recent appointment of KPMG as receiver in respect of some assets of Unibank and 4 other banks shows KPMG seeking to benefit from the report that it provided to the Bank of Ghana through a further paid engagement, a clear conflict of interest situation which does not put KPMG in a good light. Now, just a bit of a background. The Bank of Ghana on August 1, 2018 announced the revocation of universal banking licenses of 5 banks and subsequently created the Consolidated Bank to take over the selected assets and liabilities of the 5 banks. The stern action by the central bank, according to its governor, that is Dr. Ernest Addison, had overarching goal of strengthening the financial system in order to protect the interests of depositors. Now, the governor listed, quote, legacy problems, including macroeconomic factors, poor corporate governance and risk management practices, related party transactions that were not above board, regulatory non-compliance and poor supervision, leading to the significant buildup of vulnerabilities in the sector as the underlying factors for the revocations. However, in what is its first public statement from the indigenous bank, that is Unibank, since the revocation of its license, the shareholders criticized the Bank of Ghana for failing to provide them with a copy of the report purporting to be authored by the international audit firm KPMG on the financial condition and future prospects of Unibank Ghana, although the same document has found its way to the media. The shareholders alleged that although they requested for the copy of the report, the Bank of Ghana denied flatly them a copy of the document. Quote, it is unacceptable for the Bank of Ghana and KPMG to deny shareholders access to the report, even as material in the report is being widely disseminated to discredit Unibank and instigate public contempt against Unibank. No opportunity has been provided to the shareholders of Unibank to respond to any purported findings of KPMG, and yet they are being tried by the court of public opinion without the full facts to the case, end of quote. And what the latest to that is that Unibank, management of Unibank, is threatening action against KPMG and the Bank of Ghana. It is not clear now what kind of action that would be, but we keep following that story for you and we'll bring you updates subsequently. Thanks for watching Business Live. We're taking a short break. We're back with our main story for tonight.
Welcome back, and this is our main story for tonight. And freight forwarders say they are planning to embark on an industrial action next Monday. That is, if government fails to comply with their call to abolish the cargo tracking note system. The program is part of the Ghana Revenue Authority's plan to facilitate truck shipments and improve tax collection at the port. I've been speaking to the president of the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders, Kwabena Owusu-Apia. Let's take a look at this interview. What is the latest development as far as the cargo tracking note is concerned?
Thank you very much and good evening. I think that it has to be put in perspective that this is a show of force of all the freight forwarder associations, ACHAG, QBAG, and GIF. You know, we said something when this cargo tracking note thing came to town, because we know the history behind it. We said that if it was going to be implemented in the same way, even in a bad way now, we said that some few things were going to happen. From 1st of July, those things have started happening. We said some things were not going to happen, and true to word, those things are not happening. You know, but then when we sit back, it is a pain for us to sit back to realize that we have the know-how. We know the end-to-end situation and expectations. We cannot sit any longer for those who do not have the end-to-end appreciation of the business that we do. Take decisions in such a manner, because at the end of the day, it just throws into the international trade space uncertainty, and it takes away the functions of predictability. People cannot predict our environment, and it is hurting us.
Okay. You spoke about things that wouldn't work. What are some of the issues you're facing? Because you started kicking against this, not today, but the GRA went ahead on the 1st of July to start implementation. So what are some of the difficulties you're facing or your members are facing?
In the first place, we said that if you take the Vice President's way of doing this thing, he had put together a team, the National Manifest Committee, that had gone a bit deeper to understand the data elements that the CTN is asking for, and has actually gone ahead to suggest a modification to the manifest structure. That is on course. In fact, it should have happened on the 30th of June, but it suffered a bit of a hitch. So by September, this manifest structure would have been delivered. And this manifest structure, when delivered, would have taken on board everything that the CTN is asking for and more. If you saw the Vice President's letter, I have a copy here, you realize that paragraph 4 talks about the fact that CTN was going to be redundant and superfluous because of the way the new manifest system has been structured. So we said that, look, to the extent that the CTN is not validating anything outside there, you see, the CTN is hoping that when the trader or the forwarder goes onto the export country's platform, okay, whatever declaration that is going to happen there, because at that point you are declaring to the state, it's as if you are in the law court, okay. The CTN in Ghana here is just hoping that that thing that has been declared on the exporting country's customs platform will be the same thing that will be put on the CTN platform. But that's where they got it wrong. We are saying that whatever mischief that is making the documents unwholesome, if you shift it from Ghana to outside, if that mischief is not cured, the person who is perpetuating the mischief will just relocate to the point of introducing the mischief into the system. So if we thought that the export declaration there was going to be the element of cure, and now you are asking me to go onto that export declaration platform, the customs export declaration platform, get a declaration done, print it out, and come and scan it and upload it to the CTN platform. At that point, you lose the integrity of whatever you are introducing by scan onto the CTN platform. So we're saying that, look, if you do not have the capacity to integrate with the customs platform outside, then don't come and waste anybody's time by introducing a half-baked solution. So we are saying that if that is what will give customs that guarantee, put it on manifest. It is the same shipper who prepares the shipping instruction for the shipping line. Just put this value on manifest.
So are you saying it's a duplication of what already exists in the system?
It is worse than a duplication, you see.
So that was the president of the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders, and we're talking about the cargo tracking notes, basically to track shipments into the country, and the GRA is saying it's just for revenue mobilizing. Let's move on to our interview of the day. And with the recent challenges in the banking sector, the role of auditors in a firm have come under serious criticism lately. And a key question remains, who monitors the monitor of a firm? That's quite a mouthful, I must say. But simply put, in a simple language, it's the internal auditors of external auditors play a critical role in the in the upkeep of corporate governance structure in a firm, and they actually do that to just put them in place, in check actually. So in our interview of the day, Philip Namfuri caught up with Dr. Eli Agbloyo with the Department of Finance, University of Ghana Business School, on the role of the external and the internal auditor in the monitoring of a firm.
Internal audits, because they work with the senior management, let's say the CEO, CFO, they would have interactions with these senior officers in the bank. However, their ultimate reporting line is to the board, usually through the audit committee. So it doesn't mean they don't interact at all with senior management or they don't report to senior management, but their ultimate reporting line is to the board, usually through the audit committee. And sometimes what happens is that the auditors or the internal auditors are not too independent. Okay, because you have a CEO, if he's done something wrong and you report him to the board chair or to the board, you can be victimized. Okay, so sometimes these internal auditors are not too independent. Sometimes they don't have the resources to do the work that they're supposed to do, compromising their efficiency. So this may explain why we had some failures in internal audit or internal controls.
So then it behoves on the external auditors to do this, or that shouldn't be the case. And the external auditors do this.
Yes.
These checks.
So I laugh because there are also problems with the external auditors. I think recently there was something on my Joy online, BHS and PwC. Even the external auditors sometimes are not entirely independent. Sometimes they do consultancy jobs for the firm or for the bank. And this consultancy is usually more rewarding than the traditional audit service itself. And therefore, they issue a good report, so that they can get the external consultancy. Sometimes it's poor partners don't devote sufficient time to the audit and send junior members to do the audit. So even the external audit function itself has issues or problems, because all of these banks that went down had external auditors, and the question is where were these external auditors? Well, I'm not privy to whether they reported some of these incidences to the Bank of Ghana. Because ideally, as an auditor, if you spot problems, there's this confidentiality that should exist between an auditor and the firm. However, in situations where the firm is breaching regulations, then in the public interest, auditors are allowed to report to a higher or an external body.
Well, so that was our interview for the day. So who monitors the monitor of the monitor?
Supervision. You
That's
know that
quite a mouthful.
Yeah, I mean, this controversy in the banking sector raising so many questions, and it's worth discussing because, of course, auditing firms have also come under serious criticism following the fallout in the banking sector. So again, the question is, who monitors the monitor of the monitors of a firm?
All
right, that's it for tonight's program. Thanks for watching. My name is Daryl Kwao.
My name is Sandra.
More news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. Be sure to catch up on the day's latest stories.
All right, see you tomorrow.